What is up? What is up, everybody? This is Mark the Mike. This is another the Wrestling Babble podcast by Wrestling Inc. I'm Mark the Mike. I'm joined by my tag partner Louis Beans,
What is up? What is up?
and we got lots of wrestling to cover. We got John Cena saying that, yeah, you are the reasons. You're a toxic relationship with him. I believe it. I thought it was great, but first we have our wrestling retrospect, and we picked the Hardy Boys. Um, I went down the road and tried to find when the Hardy Boys had the plaid outfits on, like before they got with Doc Hendricks.
hmm
So I
hmm
was trying to find some of those matches, and I think I found one. Where is it? Oh, damn it! I just had it. It was in. I just saw it. Where is it? God damn it! I just had it. I hate when I have something and it fucking disappears. Oh god damn. It is. Name it. My bad. Like I just had this fucking thing and it went to a fucking different thing. It pisses me off. There it goes. This is a rare. This is MCW. I'm not sure the location of this, but this is It's called. They were Music City Wrestling. So I'm guessing this is in like Nashville. This is the Hardy Boys versus. They don't have the names of the two guys. I have never seen them before in my life. Looks like a crowd of 20 people, and they're wearing like green and white plaid stuff. And I think they actually did extra work for WWE during this time. But it was a fun little match. It was actually seeing their little styles up. I think they were not doing. He was not doing the Swanton Bomb just yet. They did the poetry in motion, and they finished it with a double leg drop, and that's what finished the match. But it showed like they had like a lot of like Mexican style with their tag team. You can actually see a lot of the Young Bucks influence from them when they were dressed like this as well. So, but yeah, first match, and this is a rare one. This is like very very early in the career, so I'll post it up. So definitely check it out.
Okay. The first match I have is Booker T and X Pac versus the Hardy Boys. This is WWE Raw 2002.
This is when he was that the NWO Booker T?
Apparently,
Okay.
yes, he's got the little thing. For some reason, X Pac has Kane's mask on,
Oh wait, really?
and is dancing to the ring with it. It is hilarious. He is Booker
Ah,
T's hype
yes,
man.
cause he stole the shit, the ring, the mask from him.
Uh, it's hilarious to see Booker T as the main guy with X Pac as his hype man. That factors into the end of the match too. Uh, the Hardy Boys, it's funny because they look here. It's like they went away from it, and then slowly, individually, they both came back to the same look. Because his Matt with the would be cut off shirt with his logo on it,
Yeah,
and the white tank top with the green and like blonde hair.
yeah.
But like they switched up so much, and then eventually you see them later. I think it was like 2006 or something. And it's like they have the same look, but they just cycled back to it. Uh, that I thought was funny. The match is actually pretty good for like it's like 6 minutes. Um, but the one thing they get you, they made sure to tell you that Booker T is the biggest star. He's the biggest star because sure the match is fine. It's nothing spectacular happens, but the end is probably the best part where the Hardy Boys win, right? They get no, excuse me, no. They're about to win, right? Booker T takes out Matt. They kind of do a combo move of the scissor kick into the X Factor, but Booker T is standing on the apron pissed.
Yeah.
because the crowd was about to cheer when he did the scissor kick for him to do the spinneroonie. He didn't do it because he let Xbox do the move.
Yeah.
Booker T says, "Hell no! I came here to give the people what they want to see." And so he cuts off the NWO music, puts on his music, and then does a spinneroonie. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. It is the best shit. Booker T's like F the NWO.
Yeah. Alright. I remember that time. That was a crazy time. And that's when Booker T was, I am the sexy Booker T.
Yep. I just forgot the Hardy Boys were here. Like, damn,
Yeah, they were
because they were
still.
not the main focus.
Yeah, because I think they just reunited during the time they're both doing their singles runs and stuff, and they just reunited during that time. All right, my next match is the Hardy Boys versus Taz and Raven. This was on October 12th, 2000 episode of SmackDown. Um, so this match goes into a frenzy. A lot of crazy suplexes by Taz. Good offense, has some hardcore aspects, and Raven and Taz actually working together was actually kind of interesting to see. Um, but the biggest noticeable thing, the Los Quisadores interfered the match, and then caused Taz to put the Taz mission in Matt Hardy. But while the referee wasn't looking, Raven was trying to get in the ring, and Jeff Hardy snuck in a swanton, and Matt got the pin, and they keep retain their tag team championships. But yeah, those evil Loquisadores came in and they ran out. So it's a fun match though.
Okay. Uh, the second one I picked is the Hardy Boys versus Billy Kidman and Shane Helms.
Nice.
This is on SmackDown 7/26, 2001. This match is even shorter. This is like a 4 minute, well, a 5 minute match if you count the intros. This is it's just Shane Helms.
Yeah.
It's not Sugar Shane. It's not anything like they brought over. It's just Helms. We have like a silver, like long coat with his name on the back.
Yeah.
And I think Kidman is the cruiserweight champ. Um, but like this match is really good. If you just want to see like classic Shane Helms, like non-Hurricane in WWE, this is actually a good match to see. Like he's already a complete character, and he is busting the Hardy Boys' ass in this one. Like him and Kidman in this match, like they get hit with the iconic stuff, but I'd say it's like 60-40 of them just like whooping the Hardy Boys' ass
Nice.
in like 5 minutes. Um, like it gets so down to the wire that like what is it called? The Wisp in the Wind, where he jumps off of the Matt's back.
Yeah.
So like
Oh,
he
poetry
does
in
that
motion. Yeah.
pushing motion. Shane ducks one and Matt just eats shit. I mean Jeff just eats shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh man, they're about to get him. And it was like one counter into a twist of fate, and that was it.
All right.
And the report that you always want to hear is, did Jeff Hardy mash the person? And yeah, Helms got mashed.
All right. My last one is Too Cool versus the Hardy Boys. Tag Team Championships on the line. This was SmackDown June 2000. This was a great offensive match. They both were going crazy at each other, and then you get the Big Red Machine pissed off at the WWE title, and he chokeslams every single one of them, and tells Triple H to get his ass out if he wants his title back. That's how the match ends. They got all fucked up by Kane, but beyond that, it was actually a really good match. And to see Too Cool and the Hardys, that was actually a really good matchup. They had good chemistry, and you see Too Cool like against like again they work babyface, and you have two of the biggest baby faces going at each other, so the crowd were both going crazy for both of them and stuff like that. So A lot of good stuff. A lot of good offense. If you notice the outfits too, this is all the outfits in WWE to WrestleMania 2000.
Ah, okay.
There you
Okay.
go. These are all the default outfits they had in the game. But yeah, Kane was mad, so he came out and chokeslammed everybody. I was trying to get the date too, and then trying to think about it. But I was like, yeah, Kane didn't get that title again, and then I was like, oh, this was probably when he took it from Triple H, because Triple H was champion at the time. So too
All right.
bad Kane ruined the match. That could have been a great win for either one of them, but it was a very good match nonetheless. So there you go. That's my last
Okay.
match.
And the third one I have is it says Hardy's win TNA World Tag Team titles and Ultimate X. This is Impact, April 17, 2015. And it, as he says, is Ultimate X tag. So the titles are suspended above the ring. It is still TNA six-sided ring.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get all the people. It's Bram, which I forgot what he if he still has that name or if he changed it later. I think he changed it.
Changed it.
EC with EC3, with Tyrus as the bodyguard. We have Kenny King and Loki. I forget their name. Well, I don't know their names, but they have like a tag name. Um, you have Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, who are on the same team, which I don't remember that at all. And then you have the Hardys, and is that it? I believe that's it. And I would say like while the Hardys are definitely like the fan favorite, the match itself is just really good for showcasing like everybody that's in it.
Yeah.
I think usually, you can give the X division like title matches are usually the credit for that anyway. Like I think most of the X division matches are just big showcases for how good the people in TNA are.
Yeah.
Um, as far as anything like original and crazy that happens, there is a point where it's the Hardys and I think they're called the Wolves, which is Kenny King and Loki.
Yeah.
So they're all up on the X, and they have Tyrus on the outside while he can still move. Um, shake the structure of the thing that was holding up the X.
Yeah.
So they basically made it seem like he was this big monster shaking them off of the thing, and they all fall down. So that was interesting to have that happen because that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
There was a cool spot where Bobby Roode climbs up, and then he's about to do the X. Then he goes to Austin Aries, "Hey, come over here." And then you see Aries run over to his feet, so he's standing on Aries' shoulders while holding onto the cable. I'm like, that's actually really smart to keep your balance. And then he gets clubbed in the ribs by homicide with a
Damn.
police baton, with the pull-out joints, the telescoping police baton. So you think he stole it from a cop? Just like Jesus.
Probably did.
Probably did. And obviously he's aligned with Loki and Kenny King. So and that brings to the end of the match where the ladder's involved, the Hardy's involved. You see Jeff climb above the X, and you're like, what the hell is he doing? And then it comes into play when he gets kicked, he falls down onto the X, and then after Matt knocks off Kenny King and Loki, he brings the ladder back, and then they both win. So it's like, all right, it wraps up nicely.
Nice.
Pretty good match.
Shout outs to Homicide. He just no, he's just officially retired. I think it was on House of Glory. No, on ROH TV.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah, he has like a brain tumor or some shit. So he was forced to
that's not great.
retire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it happened this week. Eddie Kingston wrote said had a video for him and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Eddie Kingston looking rough too. He looked like he hasn't shaved in like a year.
Has he been out for like a year?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has. So he looked like he hasn't gone. He like I ain't going outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was actually nice seeing him like say like that. But I just the fact that he was in that match like it made me think like yeah he just retired this week. All right, we go. That's our wrestling retrospect. We'll go and have a new people at the end of the show. We go to the weekend wrestling, and Monday Night Raw kicks off with John Cena.
He's happy to be there.
I really like the direction it went. I like everyone like again like we all talked about when he goes heel, he had a music. If he's gonna change his theme, he's gonna change his look. But the fact that the way his explanation for it and how he explained it, I think it was perfect.
Hmm. He's upset with the fans. He doesn't like the invisibility joke. Stop doing it. Hates
um, someone gotta check on our truth.
Yeah, I know. He's going through it.
He's going through it. But then you had Cody come out, calling him bitch. But just he's a whining bitch. But I think the promo delivered so well. I think them two going at it went well, but just his character for 30 minutes and still being intrigued in what they were talking about, because this went on for
Hmm.
about a half hour. Um, says something, and just how I think the crowd was perfect for it too, because they actually cheered and then they booed and they cheered and they booed. But when he came out, he got booed, and then they cheered him, and then you had this John Cena, let's go Cena, Cena sucks and all that stuff. He pointed out that one kid that's dressed like him. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn,
poor kid.
that kid, like that chick says, he should be signing autographs. He should be selling photo ops and everything. Make
Yeah,
money
you're
off his
right.
ass.
Give him a cameo.
He's the John Cena kid. He's the toxic relationship. I loved it. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was well done. It makes me more interested in one like that. There's still a lot of things that we have not got explanation why the ride with the Rock and things like that. But the way he explained it makes me not really care. And I think it's gonna go. I think we're gonna get the answers eventually, but it makes me not care because he made the match focused on them. He made the whole thing getting to focus on them, and I think it was excellent.
Good for Cena to let everybody know how he's feeling.
Yes.
So at least it's not a surprise, and it was very well done. So I'm not mad at him, but I do wish Cody would have punched him in the face. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Um. Then we got our first ounce of action. We got Penta defeats Ludwig Kaiser in a no holds barred match.
It was okay. It was good for what it was.
Yeah.
No holds barred. Really, just we can stand on this table and chop each other as long as we can.
My
We can do that and
Go
get
ahead.
away with it.
Sure.
That's all.
My only gripe, and I've said this, and I'm always gonna say this when I see something that looks more devastating than the finish. Like, why don't you just finish with that? He did the destroyer on a chair, and Ludwig was like, "Oh damn," and he's still trying to get up, and that really bothered me. And I was like, "Yeah, you really just took me off the match because I was like really into it." And then doing that, and then him just kind of not really selling it, kind of like sitting up to it, kind of annoyed me. I was like, you could easily just end it there, and that'd be perfectly fine. I feel like every match does not have to be finished with a finisher. Have some of those like trademark moves or those signature moves you call in the game. Finish matches sometimes. It's usually like a thing of stamina. Like had those matches like that move on the chair should have finished the match, not him doing that and then doing his finisher on the chair, mind you. But the fact that he landed on the chair with it made the move more even supposed to be even more devastating. So that made that move look like it was a chop.
Well, I would point out because they have the highlight on the website. He didn't get up.
But he sat up.
No, he was holding his head. Like I'm looking
Yeah.
at it right now. He didn't do anything. He was just holding his head with stars in his eyes, and Penta picked him up and killed him. That's it.
All right.
Because the thing you're saying about the not selling it, he didn't get a chance because Penta just picks him up.
Oh, okay.
It drops his head on the legs of the chair, which I'm sure hurts worse than anything. So
Yeah, that's probably different like that.
this
But
is it's Penta's fault.
hey,
He did it to himself and to you.
yes, he took me away from the match then.
Yeah.
The match was solid though. I'll leave it at that.
I'm just upset. This is the third time we going through this thing, and then we go into the next match,
Yes,
which is these two people fighting again. This time with Chad Gable and friends outside. It's just like,
yes,
I get it. You're trying to add new wrinkles to certain people's stories, but man, how many people work there?
true, true.
Y'all just keep fighting the same people,
So yes, those
and
people
then
that
every now
yeah.
can't win a match. I'm just saying,
So
Jesus.
Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile. That was the match. Yes, Dakota Kai. Ivy Nile loses. Then we get after that we got the women's world championship contract signing. Thinking Adam Pearce thinks he's slick and trying to rush that shit. You know that shit was not gonna last that long. He knew it too. That's why he tried to rush the shit. He was like, "All right, everyone's peaceful, everyone's side. All right, let's get out of here." And then Rhea Ripley comes. A lot of beatdowns happen, and then she signs her name on it. Anyone that was
Yeah,
complaining about it, Shawn
what
Michaels,
they
Shawn Michaels has done this.
the
That's how
poor
he was in the
table.
WrestleMania match in WrestleMania 20. He fucking super kicked John Cena. He super kicked Triple H. He took the contract and put his name on it. So again, this is valid because that has happened before.
Well, I mean, it has happened before. It's just I'm sure at this point Pierce is gonna say something to officiate it. That's all.
Yeah.
It's to keep up with the times because before there would be no explanation under the other guy. I'm sure there will be an explanation.
Yes, I feel that, but
Just
I
put it
thought it
that
was
way.
solid. Yeah.
I didn't really care. It's wrestling, so
Yeah.
who cares? It's
Yes.
not. This is not Law and Order. This is wrestling. I was just like, damn, that table didn't break. It
Yeah,
was
that
just two
Eo's
bodies
back.
stacked on it. Like
Eo backer.
poor Bianca. Jesus.
Eo and Bianca. Eo took the bent of it because she landed on what? She
Well,
beat a
she landed
mother.
on a person.
She beat someone with another person, so that was great. Io Sky is just getting in the middle of caught in the middle of this shit, and not getting enough attention towards her and pissing her off. She gonna shoot both of them anyway. We got a 30-second match for Jey Uso and Austin Theory. Uh, Jay looked a little off.
I don't know why they did the 30-second match,
Yeah,
but I just know he almost killed himself with that bad dive. That's
yeah,
about it.
yeah. And again,
And
everyone's
then
like, oh,
Gunther was like, I'm kidding.
yep,
You're a clown. I'm gonna choke you out.
yep, yep. But then Jay
Steals his belt.
steals his belt, celebrates with it. The last time he held someone's title, he won it. So
uh,
he did it to Braun Breaker. He won the IC title. Short run, but he had it. Um, I just felt like he was like jet lagged, man. That like his legs were like underneath him. Like he had those jelly legs. But it is what it is. It did what it needed to do. Yes, be careful with those dives because your neck almost fucking that would have been your neck. Um, Big Jim showed how it was done on Friday. So there you go. We got Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus the Creed Brothers, and this damn mysterious American masked man comes back out and destroys everybody. They defeat the
yeah.
Creed Brothers though, so at least they got the win.
Okay. All right. It was solid.
Yeah,
I liked the color scheme that the LWO had this week.
yeah, it's like a
Like the
burgundy.
burgundy with the
Yeah,
neon yellow, green. All right.
you heard like what the Ray like he explained why he don't do the Marvel stuff anymore in the DC because the cease and desist that they would give WWE.
No, I didn't know
Yeah, so he doesn't really do the characters anymore.
that. But why would he not get permission? I don't understand how you could do that.
I guess it's more of a, like
That's crazy.
yeah, but
Why would you do that?
you would think that they'll try to get those things like yo you oh the Ninja Turtles you could do a Ninja Turtle you have a sponsored toy line with the Ninja Turtles why don't you do the Raphael costume that Rey Mysterio
Because
has that would be
Rey
fucking dope
Mysterio doesn't like Ninja Turtle.
right he's just the Marvel characters and shit But
That's it.
yeah, because also Johnny Gargano had to stop because of that.
That just bewilders me that
You,
these grown men were doing that on a nationally televised product
yeah,
without getting permission. That's crazy.
because I guess it's like imitation kind of thing.
Listen,
Like
you put
like
somebody
yeah, because they're not doing the
publish.
full thing. They have their logos on it and things like
I don't
that.
know,
But
man. Johnny had some Spider-Man looking gear,
yeah,
and it was pretty hard to say it was something
no, it's
else.
true. But I feel like I feel like the WWE has enough to like have channels to be like, oh, can we do this? Oh, we could sponsor this Marvel game or Marvel Snap. Let's sponsor Marvel Snap, and then we could do
I
Rey
mean,
Mysterio and Venom.
Can't John Cena shoot Spider-Man right now in Fortnite? Something
Yeah,
like that.
there you go.
Or Venom, I think it is. Venom is in Fortnite,
Any
so
any
you can
char-
shoot.
Cena could shoot any character in that game right now.
Yep, see, there you go.
Mandalorian he could fight right now. But
That's weird.
yeah,
That's
he
weird.
mentioned that.
Not not very forward thinking.
Yeah. We got Seth Rollins vowed to target Roman Reigns and CM Punk on SmackDown after Reigns assaulted Rollins and Punk during the last match, steel cage. We have Braun Breaker defeating Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship, and then it ends with uh, Penta coming in and challenge, like kind of face to face with Braun Breaker.
I just want to say I like how Seth looked like an Italian drug dealer
Yeah,
with a suit.
and then he looked like Grimace the next day.
Uh, so what exactly did Dom do wrong? That's all I want to know
Um,
because he is upset.
Technically he didn't really do nothing. It's just Finn Balor just don't have good balance and he landed on his balls.
Oh wait a second. I don't know about that.
I don't know, but I think Dom was innocent. I think Balor is calling him a snake because he just happened to be in the match and then he has something to blame because he lost. But and then you also had the storyline of Dominic talk about Penta joining the Judgment Day as well. So that also adds into the fury. I have a big feeling because for some reason, Pierce announced Penta versus Braun Breaker for the IC title on Monday this week. So I have a big feeling Dom and Balor are going to intervolve, and I feel like we're going to get a multi-man IC title match at Mania,
Okay,
which I'm fine with. I think Dominic wins the IC title at Mania though.
that'd be great.
If not
That'd
Penta,
be great.
I actually, honestly, depending on who's is, like if it's Braun, Balor, Dom, and Penta, I could be happy with anyone to win. I wouldn't pass
Yeah.
anyone to win.
If it's not, but personally, if it's not Dom, I'd rather Braun retain.
Yeah,
Just kill everybody.
yeah, but that'll be interesting. Monday Night Raw, where you give it?
I give it a B plus. Again, there's too many people that work there for this to not have you to not have different matches.
Yeah,
Ivy could afford anybody else.
I'll go A
You know what I'm saying?
minus.
Like, come on, you gotta stop that.
I go A minus just because the John Cena and Cody Rhodes stuff. I think that really brought like the attention to that match for WrestleMania. It really put my eyes on that match, and
Um,
I really love
let
John
me give.
Cena's response.
I'll be right back.
Oh, go
All
ahead.
right.
Yep, yeah. John Cena's response was fucking great. So I actually really enjoyed it, and the big conversation of where they go from here. Supposedly John Cena is supposed to be booked for the next three Raws. So we're gonna see him, and then the next three Raws also air at 3 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you're actually watching Netflix, Raw on Netflix, next week, the following week, next week, the following week, and I think the one more week after that, they are gonna be airing at around 3 or 4 o'clock. I think this week is at 4 o'clock, but last week it was 3 o'clock. I like the fact that Raw has the option to cut this show short. They don't have to do the full 3 hours because they don't have to have the paid sponsorships like SmackDown does. So it doesn't really have to extend longer than it has to, which I think what helps the show and keeps it flowing. As in SmackDown sometimes seems stagnant until like you get the last hour and stuff, which we had issues with that before. But again, there's some things I love what Triple H is doing with WWE. Period, but there are little holes in his running of the WWE that I wish it gets attended to or fixed. Just because there's lots of ways you could keep everything flowing smooth if you don't use the same people every week. If you just like rotate people, he did that in NXT and he did it great. You look at HBK doing in NXT now, he rotates everybody. Not everyone's on every show, but you will have focal points on storylines on every show, but you won't have every single wrestler on every show. And he has a lot more to work with because he does have the NXT roster and also the rookies that like that. But then you have those shows like Evolve that adds more of the rookies working that match show. They're not on NXT; they're on that show. And then you have LFG, which adds a other element of story. So it's a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff going on right now.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Go to NXT.
Yep.
We got the Women's United States Championship match. You got Chelsea Green versus Sol Ruka. That kicked off the
That
show.
was a great match. They both look great.
Yes.
But again, that's how you get the younger people better. Is they fight people better now.
Yeah.
So it's only helping Soul. And then of course Chelsea's Secret Service
Yeah.
helping her win the match.
I everyone like I people complain oh she's losing this but she's winning that. I'm fine that she's winning the championship matches. No matter what, she should be winning the championship matches. I like the Secret Service.
Who
I
wants her
actually
to
like the
lose?
characters. Huh? I don't know who wants
Who
her to
wants her
lose,
to
but
lose?
people are complaining like, oh, she's not wrestling anybody. She's not doing this. She's not doing that. But I like, wow, I see her
What show are
wrestling
you
people.
watching? She wrestles like
Exactly.
every week.
I like.
Like
I
what
see
show are
her
you
every
watching?
week. I see her doing promos, like character work every week. Like she is doing everything she needs. If you're gonna compare her to anyone right now, compare her to IC Champ Miz. That's
I
what
guess
she
so.
is right now. When he had the B squad with him and things like that, and he kept having people to help him win matches and things like that. Think of the Bloodline. Think of Roman Reigns. He had people helping him win matches all the fucking time. So this works. She's a heel. That's what they do. This match was great though. It was good, and also it gives a little rub off the Sol Roca too. Just the fact that she's working with a main roster person, and involved in the storyline. Same thing with Zarya. She's involved in storyline with a main roster person. So gives them reps. It gives them repetition. I enjoyed the match. The backflip was funny. She got full with JJ in the face, which was hilarious. But it was great. It was a good match. That was a full Vegeta assault. Like she went bloop, right in the face. Piper Nevins took it
It's
right
just
to the head.
hilarious.
But I did like the
I take
match.
a like taking a bullet to the face.
Oh man, that's what happens when you try to do crazy shit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it fails. Um, we got Stephanie Valkyrie challengers lineup for the title opportunity. You had Jordan Grace come with her Patrick Star outfit, and then you
And her
had
space boots.
yep, and then you had she wore the wrong boots to get into action because Jada Parker came out, threw her against the wall. She hit her at the hip, and then she ran the match, ran in the ring, and challenged Stephanie Valkyrie for the title. Very good promo, and yeah,
They, they better. Oh, I shouldn't say they better. HBK knows what to do.
yeah.
He has a star in the making with Jada Parker. He knows
Mhm.
what
She has a
to do. That's
very
all I'm
strong
saying.
promo. Like she's ahead of a lot of people with the promo.
She's like ahead of a lot of people in a lot of things.
I don't know.
Like she
I
has like
agree.
one of the most developed character. Like even I would say more so than like Julia and Stephanie for how much star power they have. Like in the little bit of time she has,
Yeah,
her character is just as strong as anybody else there. So I'm like, all right.
yeah, I agree. I'm for it too. I think she's been great. She gets better on the getting on the. She's great on the mic, but she's getting better with her character. She knows what character she is. Not a lot of the girls that've been there for a couple of years don't know who they are. So she kind of has it really down packed right now. So I'm actually looking forward to that match. I think it's gonna be really fun.
Hmm.
We had tag team action. We have Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Amaru versus Hank Walker and Tank Ledger. That was a solid match.
Yes, sir. They don't get enough credit, but Hank and Tank are pretty good.
Yeah,
I would say.
there you go. You had the Calling. That's the Sean Spears group's called. Versus D'Angelo Family mixed 6-person tag. The Calling wins.
Oh, somebody's got to take Stacks out back. He's making bad decisions.
Yep, yep.
That's all I'm saying.
We have JC Jane defeats Carmen Petrovic.
And good for her because Karen was not paying attention. Now she had the win. If she'd have listened to Ashanti, she'd have won. Just saying.
Yeah.
She stood there and tried to play the good girl. No, man, use that chair.
Yep, yep.
Take that woman out.
You also have Fallon Henley backstage, and she demands her rematch, so she's getting a match. So Stephanie Valkyrie is working double time
Hmm.
next week.
That she should.
Yep, yep. She's working the North American title and NXT Championship same night. Ricky Saints defeats Ridge Holland. Solid match.
Oh, match, yeah. Very, very good. I actually see the thing I like about it though is it still ended up advancing like both character
Yeah,
stories anyway because they had the nice promo in the locker room before the match with Ridge and um was it Eddie,
yeah,
and then because obviously that sets up the other match later on.
yeah,
So I thought everything around this match was pretty good, and especially the promo after it,
yeah. That was
where
really good.
Ricky's doing his interview,
Yep.
and then they come and get him, and he says what he says to the girl. That's pretty funny.
That was after. That was actually after the tag match, and then it went into this match. The tag match they were in, the mixed tag. Was it? Yeah. And then we got our main event with Trick Williams versus Eddie Thorpe for NXT Underground match. Solid match. I like the end.
Hmm.
I thought the end was great with Von Evans and Obi Femi.
Again, like just rotating people, but also keeping stories going.
Yeah,
Who thought you was gonna see Obafemi get punched in the face? Not me.
not me. I had, and then you also had that new End Slate, whatever they call it, what the group's called again now,
I don't know, but
The Black
I
Slate or
say the
some shit like that.
presentation is pretty good.
Yeah,
The presentation is pretty good.
I have a big feeling
So we'll see
Javon
what they
Evans is
do.
gonna be the leader.
I guess I could see it,
I can see it too.
but we'll see. Cause wait, didn't they already get one of the guys that was already a regular NXT, like the guy with the glasses? Remember?
Yeah,
Isn't he one of them?
he's
Cause he
one of
looks like one
yeah
of the guys.
he's one of them, and then you have three other
Yeah.
guys that weren't really on TV. I could see him
Okay.
being kind of like like that, but I feel like they're gonna be a bigger star as the leader.
I get it. I get it.
I just feel like there's going to be a bigger person as the leader. And Javon Evans kind of out of this whole rivalry and things like that, and him trying to find like be taken seriously. I think that's a wave of him being taken serious. Like, nah, I have a group. I'm gonna fucking fuck all you up. And I feel
Hmm.
like that will give them that extra thing to make him feel like he's serious about it, kind of shit. NXT, what you give it?
I give it an A.
I give it an 8 too. It was a solid show. AEW Dynamite. Do you watch it?
No.
Okay. I was just
Somebody needs to save John Moxley from himself.
yeah. Ricochet, Orange Cassidy, Mike Bailey, and Mark Davis was solid. We got a double pin. Bailey and Ricochet pin Davis, and they are both gonna fight Omega at Dynasty. We had TBS champion Mercedes Moné versus Billy Stark. Thought it was a solid match.
I did
Monet
see that.
wins.
That was a good match. That was good.
We had Street Fight, John Moxley versus Cope. So wasn't the pay per view a Street Fight as well? Because for some reason they always were violent and blood,
No, it was a regular match.
just Moxley style.
That's why
No
people are like,
rules.
what are you guys doing? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I just wasn't interested. I was like, so you meant to do this before, and they still ain't fix it.
No, they just it just went this way. And then I think the most controversial thing was the spike thing to the back, and that was it.
I don't want to see it. They keep. Why are they leaning into that?
Because
That's
that
just
was the
what.
only thing good out that match.
Like they literally like yesterday put up one of the highlights, and that's one of the clips that they put of
Yeah,
that thing. I'm like, could you stop leaning in? That's disgusting. I
that's
don't
all
want to
they
see
got.
that.
That's what they got.
If freaking can we? I just a petition. Can we sign a petition to save Moxley himself?
Yeah.
Trying to save AEW. Like no. They don't need you to save them.
Yeah.
Just stop, please. Stop what you're doing, Moxley.
We got Real Osprey versus AR Fox. I wish it was a better match. It was solid. It was okay. It was like nothing really special.
That doesn't sound great.
Yeah, I thought I think it was just really rushed. It was like a really fast match, and I think they could have really delivered something. I think the Cope and Mox match went a little over, and then that match suffered for it.
I got you.
Chris Statlander versus Megan Bain. I thought this was solid as well. Good story going into it, and Bane wins, and then Storm comes out, and they have a promo across the front. She is fighting her at Dynasty. So damn, 5 matches in, and she got a title match. There you go.
Good for her.
AEW, I'll give a C plus. I think the last promo was solid. I thought the 4-way in the beginning was solid. I did not care for the Cope and Moxley match because I really did not see them fight again. So there you go. Monet and Billy Stark was pretty solid. And I like the fact that it was a new opponent and shit. So there you go. I'll go to Friday Night SmackDown. I have to catch up with TNA. I have not, so I'll have a full like review of TNA when I catch up with it. I'm like back like 2 episodes. I've been watching the 2B Evolve, and that's been okay. It reminds me of, like very early days NXT.
Okay. All right.
It's been solid, and then you see Winnie Chu was on last week, and she fought Kylie Ray. That was actually pretty good. Oh no, she's fighting Kylie Ray this week. Or no, she has a storyline with Kylie Ray. My bad. And then Kylie Ray fought someone else, and that was a good. And then Wendy Chu came out and like kind of did her little tournament and shit. They have like little storylines, and you have some of the people that you don't really see on TV all the time, and they kind of having good matches and getting these guys like helping them out and stuff like that. So they've been solid stuff. So and you see the WWID people in there too, so that's cool. And the presentation is cool. It reminds me of like a dark, like it was like it's a small, very small crowd, very intimate kind of visuals. And it's
Okay.
Rosenberg and Stone are the commentators.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's on Tubi. They're about 45 minutes, 45, 50 minutes long.
Gotcha.
Yeah. 3 episodes are up now. I gotta watch the last episode. But I watched the first two and they're pretty good. Again, it reminds me of like early NXT, like when Leo Kruger debuted there, and like fucking before Sami Zayn debuted, like right before Arrival, that NXT. That's where it reminds me of. SmackDown. We kick off with Randall,
Randall Keith.
Mr. Randall Keith Orton, and Kevin Owens. That was good stuff. That was a good promo.
I Somebody's got to shoot KO. There's too many people laying around with messed up necks and backs because of this man. Somebody's got to hurt him, man.
Yep. First match is Damian Priest and Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought it was solid. It could show some story stuff and Big Jim.
I'm unhappy.
Yeah,
I'm unhappy. Shinsuke Nakamura should not be having regular matches. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah.
I'm just saying, champion or not, he should be a special attraction. When he loses, he should go to the back and then come out and just kick you in the head and disappear.
Yeah,
He should be having regular matches. He's too special. That's how I feel about Shinsuke. Just saying.
I could see that. Like his style, like his entrance and stuff like that, I think is like very slow and demonic. Like I wish they would do more with his characters and like yo, you should be misting every fucking body. That should be a thing. Just miss people. Like
And he shouldn't be getting pinned at regular matches. That's all I'm
yeah,
saying.
true. I agree. But
But I appreciate the story
yeah,
with Drew because
yeah,
it does make sense.
yep,
He's been tormenting him for like a year and a half.
yep,
No, almost a year. Yeah.
and took his title.
So, yep. But it's because Drew's a bitch.
Yep, there
So
you go. We got Tiffany Stratton engaged in a war of words with Charlotte Flair.
I don't think Charlotte's character of interrupting Tiffy is helping
No.
because you can't hear. Because again, I know she's supposed to be disrespectful and she's supposed to be flustering the character, but in terms of getting any type of information out of Tiffy's character, it's just like, well, I can't. The whole thing you're doing is not letting her talk, so I can't get any. I can't get a feel of anymore who she is.
Yeah.
Like I think that's one of the things that's the weakest part of Tiffy is since she's been put in the spotlight is they don't just let her be a character.
Yeah.
Like aside from the wrestling ring, so you don't really know much about her. Like at least in NXT, you knew she was a bitch,
Yeah.
and you knew why. She had a oh, I would take daddy's credit card and do this and do that. Like she doesn't have that here. Like she gets cheered and she's a bad guy. Like it's so weird. And
Yeah.
this thing with Charlotte, I think, is bad because it's like she's treating her like she's this baby and she's walking all over her. But it's like we don't even know this character Tiffy in on the main roster.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I don't like either one.
I feel like I feel like the this matchup is not like it's not clicking.
Yeah, it's
And
not.
everything they doing is just not clicking. And I like Tiffany. I like Charlotte, but I feel like this match was not needed. I feel like
I mean,
honestly, you
it's
could have kept Nia Jax with the title right now. You could
I
have had
think it
her
was
cash in at
anticipated.
Mania,
Mm.
and I feel like that was something you could have had Charlotte versus Nia. At least Nia, I think, would have been strong enough to go back to back promo wise with Charlotte, and then you could have had Tiffany crash in, and that's when you could have had Tiffany start off fresh after WrestleMania, and not the big spotlight of her having to really step up for a WrestleMania match. That's my only
I
thing.
think
Like the match,
either one would have
yeah,
been good.
yeah. I just think
Would
that
have been.
they're not clicking. They're not clicking at all.
I just think the promo stuff is not working because they just haven't Charlotte eat her alive. But it's like you're eating a person alive that I don't even feel compelled to really care
Yeah,
if you do that to her or
you
not.
haven't.
Because her
Yeah,
character is like I don't. It's not like she's like, oh man, I feel so bad for her. It's like, well, she's an asshole.
yeah,
From what you told me on TV, why should I feel sorry for her?
yeah. Cause so I get like, all right,
Like
Tiffy
Trish
was
was
the
her friend for
yeah,
a day,
yeah,
for 2 days.
yeah. Like you
I
haven't
think it's all the
established
mean
her.
stuff she did.
Yeah, you haven't established her like she's going in supposed to be your babyface. You haven't established her as a babyface.
Nope.
You haven't, and then again, like you said, like they haven't showed a personal side of her that you or everyone that could relate to. Because what we
Nope.
got is the Barbie girl kind of gimmick, and that's not gonna relate to everybody. We want
Nope.
to know, and honestly, I love Tiffy outside of the ring. I think she's a great personality. She's very humble. She's very like that. Start showing that kind of side of her because honestly, I think that's where it will really click with the fans. If you're having her stay that character, it's not going to click with Charlotte because Charlotte is the heel. She's the baby. You have to really have people want to her to win. And the fact is, yes, you're relying on the fans cheering for her, but at one point, like just kind of like what people bitching about Jey Uso now, like they are gonna be like, all right, we're getting tired of it. But Jay is a different story, and I think people are just stupid and like, they don't see what he's bringing and what he's doing for the current generation of kids and shit too. So it's a lot of shit, but they just not clicking for me. And I'm really trying to be. I'm defending this match too, and I'm like really trying to get into it, but I'm not really into it. And again, like you're saying, like 100%, you're not really getting me to want to cheer for you, not to relate to you in that sense.
Yep.
So I agree.
That's a no for me.
I agree
That's a no.
100%. Braun Strowman defeats Jacob Fatu and by DQ.
And
Um,
here we. Is this the rubber match? Like which match is this? Because this is what the fifth time they fought now.
this is the third match. This is the third match. Braun finally actually gets a win off of one by DQ. But you had the bloodline kind of interfere, and then they kind of cost Fatu the match, and you saw like backstage stuff with Solo and Jacob yelling at each other and shit.
I did. I mean, I do appreciate the before this that they set up that Braun wants to fight for the U.S. title.
Yeah,
So that's why you have the look between L.A. Knight and Braun Strowman.
yeah.
But we'll see.
You got
Again,
hmm?
you can't just keep fighting the same people over and over again.
Yep.
Can't.
You got Piper Nevins versus Zelina Vega. She defeats her.
That was good. That was good. Finally, good to see Zelina fight again and somebody different fighting
Yeah,
Piper.
that's probably Piper won though.
I'm not really,
Yeah,
because you know
yeah,
what? Not for nothing. Like she never actually looked like somebody who loses. Like the way they portray her, she doesn't really lose. She only loses like to the top people.
yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not really too surprised. But yeah, I kind of think it maybe was the wrong thing. But I don't know if they don't stop the feud between her and Chelsea, and maybe Zelina fights the other security guard next week or
I just
something.
thought like again she had to get into the pretty much the tower. She had to be the two to get the title
Yeah,
shot. So I
she
feel like you kind of just
lost.
fought. Yeah, she lost. So
Yeah.
and there was no continue. So she goes back to the line. But sadly, yeah, she had a wardrobe malfunction, so that kind of affected the match, and I think that what probably turned the match as well. But
Huh?
yeah,
What? What's that got to do?
her boob popped
Yeah,
out.
but what's that got to do with anything? That happens to Tiffy, and she's a champ.
No,
That's got nothing to do with anything.
sometimes if it's too noticeable, they will like end the match right then and there. But then again, I don't know. I just know that happened. But anyway, the match was solid. The crowd was a little quiet for Zelina, but I also blame that y'all gave her like brand new music, like in the middle of nowhere that barely gets like tapings and shit, and you give her brand new music to people to understand who she is and stuff like that. I felt like they should have just kept her with the LWO thing until she came back to America.
Is she still in the LWO? Like
She
she's
left in good
still.
terms.
All right.
Ray gave her a
Just
hug when she went to SmackDown. I'm just saying that the fact that the song, like the theme, like no one knew the theme. Like when you change the theme song, that kind of throws people off. Like Street Profits theme song too, they changed, and I'm just like,
yeah, true. But the Street Profits, they was going crazy for the Street Profits.
but it took the Street Profits for them to get them to cheer like on the right moments of the theme song, because they were teaching them how
No,
to
I don't
cheer
mean.
to it.
Oh no, I don't mean that. I just mean the difference between who they were cheering for during the match.
Yeah,
I get the intro. No, nobody knows who's coming out or whatever,
yeah,
unless you tell them.
Yeah,
That I understand. But like in terms of the crowd reaction to the people in the ring, like they were going crazy for the Street
yeah,
Profits.
yeah, yeah. That was good. Um, we got Liv Morgan versus Jade Cargill.
That was a good ass match.
Good
This
match.
might have been like the best match on the show,
Very
personally.
solid match. And then
But they keep
Naomi.
playing. I'm just saying. I'm saying it again. They keep trying to play games with Liv and say that she has not improved. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, Liv is the workhorse,
This is
man.
one of this is one of Jay's best singles matches, and it's because of Liv.
I agree.
So they
Um,
need to stop playing games.
oh, stop that with Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan been like the fucking workhorse of the women's division. You can't deny that at all.
Hmm.
She's been working. Honestly, I would have. I will say this clearly. She didn't have to lose the world title. I really don't think she should have lost the world title. You could have had her in the mix of Bianca, but then again, you have her with the tag title, and she's kind of really showing that as well. And I like her with Raquel, so either way, it works really well. But I don't think she didn't need to lose the title. But yeah, I agree 100%. Liv Morgan is the workhorse, and she's been killing it, and she's getting better and better every time she has a ring. She knows herself in the ring now, and I think that was a big difference. She knows her spots. She knows what to do when certain things happen, and she also knows how to call an audible when she needs it. Like she knows how to change the crowd for like just to get them invested back into the match.
Yep. And then Naomi killed Jay.
That was great. She got the
Threw
she
her on
got
the table.
she got the Owen Hart outfit.
He is not a nugget.
I loved it, and it made Naomi look really strong too. So I like that. We got the Street Profits, and they get interrupted by Legado de Fantasma and Pretty Deadly, and then they go against the Los Garzas. Good promos and stuff like that. Good match too.
Great
Very good
match.
match.
Yep.
Great match.
Great
Yeah.
match.
I like the Street Profits new theme. It's not bad. Get used to it. Yeah, I like the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess when they teamed with Bobby Lashley, that was the thing that they should have changed to.
True. That's true.
You didn't change the character, and that's I think what hurt it as well. But
Yes.
good stuff. And then our ending was Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins engaged into an epic brawl, and all pointing at the WrestleMania sign.
It was a lot of people trying to kill CM Punk.
Yep.
What I noticed. He came out there and opened his mouth. They still didn't say what the favor was, right?
No.
They still didn't.
No favor. Yeah, yeah, they
So
haven't
we
mentioned
don't
the favor.
know. So we still don't know. And then all hell breaks loose. Sure, Seth and Roman don't like each other, they hate each other, but CM Punk starts it. And then they just both proceed to, like, the funniest part for me for the whole thing was Seth jumped Roman from behind with his jacket like he was going to choke him, and all he did was move him out of the way so he could step on CM Punk's
Yeah,
face. It's just like they just trying to beat up each other to kick his ass. That's funny.
that's where he should be.
That's what I think should happen in the match.
Yeah,
I think they should not. They should shield powerbomb CM Punk through a table. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, they should.
And then continue the match, and whoever wins wins. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the tribal chief and Grimace.
Well, he had blue on today.
Yeah,
He was the blue grimace.
yes, he was. SmackDown, we give it.
I give it a minus. But
I'm
it
gonna
was a
go.
solid show.
I'll go B plus. I felt like the beginning kind of it dragged a little bit, and then the last hour and a half was really solid.
I just think that whole Tiffy thing was boo boo.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it just didn't click.
And as much as I didn't mind the Braun Strowman matches, it's like, okay, guys, can you not just keep fighting over and over again? And again, I'm pissed that Shinsuke being in regular matches. He should not be.
Also, we had two vignettes. We had a Phoenix vignette, and we had number 4.
Oh, is that who that is? Like he changed his gimmick because he's not a bird. They keep showing electricity.
Yeah,
What's
and
up
then
with that?
and
He
then
changed his element.
and then they showed the darker one with a number 4,
Four horsemen. Oh,
which I think is Alexter.
why? Why the number four though? It's not important.
It was one of his last promos that he used to do. It was like one of the chapters I
Interesting.
think he left off on. Who knows? All right. Yeah, I go B plus with SmackDown. I did not watch Collision because Collision showed like at 12 o'clock at night, and I didn't get a chance to watch it. So all I know is Harley Cameron won her match. That's
Oh,
what
that's good.
matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Cole and Garcia went to a
I did.
draw.
I do want to see that.
Yeah, it was a draw.
Still,
That was all I remember.
yeah. I know.
So
I'm pretty sure it was a good match. So I kind of
no,
want to watch.
I think it would be good. All right, that's the week in wrestling. We go to the podcast we listen to. Van Vliet has some good ones. He tends to be the one I listen to. He had Chris Bay on. That was a really good conversation.
Okay. I did see
And
the. So I have to watch that one or listen to that one
yeah,
rather.
that was really good. And then he had Rob Van Dam. The Tuesday before.
Okay. Cool.
Good
Cool.
conversations. Very good conversations. I heard some of the busted open stuff about John Cena's promo. I heard about they had a discussion of who's better, Dean Ambrose or John Moxley. Um, they talked about the Roman Punk Seth thing and everything like that. So if you listen to Busted Open, they had some good conversations that this week. Did I listen to anything else? And shout outs to Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. They always have a lot of updates on new figures and everything like that. And it's always good stuff to listen to. And now we go to the wrestling retrospect. It is your pick.
You know what? I do not believe we picked any of his stuff. Right? Did we do Chris Bay?
Chris Bay, no.
All right. So let's do him.
Chris Bay. Chris Bay. Yep. He has a match with Davari on 205 Live.
Really? Damn.
hmm They tried to sign him during that time too. They was close to signing him. I don't think they did. I think he went into development for a couple months, and then TNA gave him an offer.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right, Chris Bay is the pick, and that'll be it. This is the Wrestling Babble podcast. Thank you for listening. Follow us on all social medias. Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitch, TikTok, and all Mark with the Mic. Also, I might be twitching Assassin's Creed Shadow, so definitely check that out. And follow Recycling Inc.
Yes, sir. Follow us anywhere and everywhere. Recycling Inc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. And we got a WordPress.
Yep, yep.
Do it.
And always remember, follow the Jinkies.
He's hungry.